ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, picks up and welcome back to my UTEP Dynasty here in College Football 25. As you see there, we've got the Florida Gators in the swamp to start off this episode, coming off of a resounding opening win this season against Rice at the Sun Bowl. But like I mentioned last episode, we're going to get right into this season and get through the whole non-conference schedule and get to Mountain West play against Hawaii, where we'll start next episode. So we're going to start against Florida at Gainesville, go to Los Angeles, play USC, and then finish off at home against Sam Houston back at the Sun Bowl, where I'm going to wear the El Chuco helmets in this episode. But like I said last episode, I'm going to do it a little bit differently in this one, and probably from this point on, I'm still going to stream the bowl games and any of the big games later on in the season, maybe the Mountain West Championship as well. But for these episodes, so we can get through more, I'm not going to record any of these games live. I'm going to record myself playing them, and then I'm going to do highlights, kind of like Sports Center, over the highlights of these games afterwards. But I'll still do some recruiting on the way, and there's definitely a few things that I've noticed as I've been scrolling through the menus here in this Dynasty that I've noticed, which are a little bit fun, a little bit funny. I mean, the first thing you've got to notice, I go back to this screen, Western Michigan upsets Michigan to start the season, so already some chaos in this Dynasty. And these things that I've noticed that I kind of wanted to go over, I've kind of noticed because I was searching for Florida's quarterback, DJ Lagway, who I didn't know where he transferred to. He's no longer the quarterback at Florida, and that's who we play in this episode, but I noticed Skylar Locklear transferred. We told him that he would be best if he transferred. He went to Kansas of all schools. I wonder if he started in their game. And it looks like he did. Obviously, you see, he transferred from UTEP. I guess he did play a bit last year as well, but he did start in their first game for Kansas, so Skylar Locklear, good thing we told him to transfer. He's gone to a school that's actually getting a little bit out of him, even though it didn't look like he was playing too well. Another thing that just has to be noted as I was searching for QBs, North Texas, the Mean Green, one of the schools I was considering for this Dynasty. They have 10 quarterbacks at their school. 10! That's insane. I don't know if that's ever gonna help them, but man, think about being the last guy on this list, DJ Evanson, or even one of these three redshirt juniors that are 7th, 8th, and 9th best quarterbacks on the team. And I was able to find DJ Lagway, who transferred from Florida to Texas Tech of all schools. So that's why we're not going to be able to face him in this episode against Florida, but also on Texas Tech, remember Trey Owens. We tried to get him to transfer to UTEP from the University of Texas, and he chose Texas Tech only to have DJ Lagway follow him there. Tough luck, Trey. Should've came to UTEP, dude. But anyways, this is Florida's quarterback situation. They've got a redshirt freshman, Willie Sheldon, who's going to be their quarterback against us. They've got a good running back, KD Daniels, who's a junior. He'll be the one we're probably going to have to worry about the most. They have a great receiving core led by Andy Jean and Aiden Mizell. Good tight end, Tony Livingston. I mean, this is a good team overall. They're an 87, which is funny. Like, you see, they've got a 93 all the way down to an 86, and you look at our roster, I think we're kind of like I don't even know, we're an 85, so we're not that much different, but look at the overalls of us going from an 86 down to an 80 on this one screen, so we're definitely still much worse than Florida, even though our overall says 85 now. I don't really think overalls quite depict how good each team is, to be honest. And I'm going to go over recruiting after I play Florida as we get into the USC week and the Sam Houston week, but like I said, I'm just going to go play these 3 non-conference games and see if we can get an upset on the road in one of the next 2, and then put a statement up against Sam Houston at the Sun Bowl in 3 weeks. So let's get into it.
Welcome to Gainesville, Florida. It's hot, it's humid, just like the Gators like it, and the reason they call this place the Swamp is we are ready for the Florida home opener. What an exciting matchup we have in store for you this afternoon, built around the pageantry, tradition, and everything that makes college football great. As we'll see a squad from the Mountain West, the UTEP Miners, taking on a team from the SEC, the Florida Gators.
Wanted to establish the run early, and Rasheem Bradley got us going right away against Florida. Big run for the freshman. Very impressed with him so far. Gotta get it out in space to our electric skill players like Ryan Niblett. Answered that big run with a big play himself, the spin, inside the 10. He was fantastic today. And then inside the 5, we go to one of my favorite plays. getting Corey Foster out in motion, and he fights his way into the end zone for a touchdown for UTEP. What a way to come out in the swamp. 7-0, grittying on the Gators. JP Pickles grew up about 2 hours from the University of Florida, has a lot of family attending today, and he came out with a bang. So did our defense. Tyler Hawkinson, the freshman, covered one of the top receivers on the team and did it well there, getting the ball back. And seriously, we could not have come out much better. Darian Trish, big run, big juke, inside the 10, and here came the Miners. But then, a deflection on the play-action pass, big hit, and Florida got the ball back. But then, a minute later, Florida's driving, and Clayton Sylvan, our first 4-star in this series, picks off the quarterback and gets the ball back for the Miners. We gave this Florida offense fits today, and then JP Pickles back on offense, 3rd and long. Martavius Collins with a big old drop. We punt it back to him. It was a bit of an ugly first half in this game. It was a bit of an ugly game, but Florida did drive on us this time around. Got it 3rd and goal and scored. Good ball to the tight end. They tied this game up. And then the wheels started to fall off here for UTEP. JP Pickles forcing it to Martavius Collins, another pick, and just like that, the momentum was with the Gators. But good stop on 3rd down. We commit to the run, and a deep 4th down try would have been a long field goal. They chose to punt. Pickles rolling out of the pocket, looking for Darian Trish on 3rd and long, and we were 2 yards short. Thought we were going to pick up that play, but we had to punt it back to Florida just before halftime. And just when they looked like they were going to threaten again, Jalen Jones with a big sack on the quarterback, and UTEP goes into the half tied with the SEC school on the road. Putting more pressure on the quarterback and a little bit too much. We get a roughing the passer call. It was a completed pass, so they get all the way down inside the 25 with that play to start the half, but more pressure on the quarterback. This time, Nasir Atkins gets the sack, and Florida is forced to settle for a field goal. 10-7 lead for the Gators, but I wanted to get back to the run. Darian Trish getting through the line, great blocking, big run for the senior. And you can see the noise, the electricity of playing in Gainesville. Getting to JP Pickles, he's just trying to change the play. We need this. It's 4th and 5, and Judah Ezenwa, all reliable. Big play, fights for extra yards, gets the 1st down. Keeps the drive alive. Later on, JP Pickles looking for Martavius Collins, who's come alive this season, at tight end. Inside the 1, and this means we're giving it to Darian Trish, who puts the Miners back in front. First touchdown since the 1st quarter. Both running backs had a very good day today. Another sack as soon as Florida gets it back. Jalen Jones was everywhere today. You see it here, more pressure, but they pick up the 1st down. 4th and inches here. Big play for the defense, and I thought this was picked. But no, they pick up the 1st down and keep their drive alive. Guess who? It's Jalen Jones again. My God, was he active in this one. He has had an amazing, I think it's his senior season now. And again, here he comes. 3rd sack of the game for JJ. Making it 4th down, and Florida had to punt it back to the Miners with just over 2 minutes left in this game and a 4-point lead for UTEP. We give it to Rasheem Radley. He goes up the middle. We give it to Darian Trish. He picks up the 1 yard to get a 1st down at the 2-minute warning. Florida has used all but 1 timeout, so on 3rd and 8 here, this was a big play. We need to pick it up or they were going to get it back. Swing it out to Darian Trish, and he dove like Superman, shot out of a cannon, and could not get the 1st down. 4th and inches. You know what we're doing. Demetrius Baldridge blasting up the middle, and that right there with no timeouts for Florida would seal the game. But we were not done there. 2nd and 2, and honestly, I said, why not? They're not going to cover the deep ball, and they sure didn't. Ryan Niblett seals a huge upset here on the road in the swamp for UTEP. Screw it. Let's do it. A big win for this program. And a sign of good things to come this season. We really fought hard in this one and earned the victory. 21-10. What a win for the Miners. Really impressive in all areas. You can see we beat Florida in just about every single area. 2 for 2 on 4th down today. two really big ones, won the possession battle. JP Pickles got the win in Florida, 15 for 24, 207 yards, thanks to that deep bomb to Ryan Niblett to end it, but it was the rushing game today. Darian Trish and Rasheem Radley that won us this game. Very impressive from both of our running backs. Demetrius Baldridge with that Baldridge blast to win it, and Ryan Niblett to just seal it. Alright, now it's time for USC week, but man, I mean, that's a pretty incredible feeling beating Florida on the road at the Swamp. I mean, it just gives you that feeling that it could be a special season. 2 wins that felt really good so far for UTEP. Before I go over recruiting, I just wanted to go over me with my coaching ability tree. I'm looking at the recruiting thing, and it's all kind of full at this point, and that's why we have all these 45 coaching points that you see in the top right. But I didn't realize that you can purchase other abilities. You can purchase Motivator, Architect, Tactician, and I've gone through these. I've tried to see which one I think is best, and in my opinion, it's Motivator. So I am going to purchase that, and you can see what kind of things you can get with each position. You get bonus XP for players that are drafted in the top 3 rounds, but then it gets even better. QBs can stay hot throughout timeouts if they get hot during games and all that, and then even better, you get a bigger off-season training boost for these positions. And then I love that the tier 4 one is back to a performance-based boost. Players start hot in close games in the 4th quarter. These are all things that I want, especially for quarterbacks. So I'm going to start off by just maxing out our quarterback abilities. And honestly, with how much I'm liking Rasheem Radley and our young running backs, I want to get an off-season training boost for running backs, and for now, we'll start there, and then we'll go from there as we get more abilities now and more XP. And honestly, in terms of recruiting week to week right now, the updates are all UTEP, all great. Terrell Jeffrey, we are in first for our 5-star quarterback. And that's kind of the case across the board. We are absolutely allocating our hours best we can right now. You can look at where we're at. I'm just going to scroll through them. Hayden Hearns, we're first. Chad Turner, we're doing well. Odenigbo, we're definitely looking good right now. Chad Shaw, we're looking good. Sash, good. Trimble, good. Cheeseman, we've got no competition. That's why he has 10. Bullet, good. Dwumfor, good. And we also put in some hours for Jason Zamitis, another slot corner. I feel like you can never have enough good corners up and coming, so we've pushed into first for him, and we're just going to continue to do so there for now. And I'm sure as this season goes on and as we sign some of these guys and get closer to doing so, we'll take some of these hours away and go after even more players, because right now we only have 11 on our board. But overall, our team's pretty young, so I'm not too worried about having to sign so many recruits in this class specifically. That's why we're just going after guys that are really good, that can kind of top off our team next year. As I'm sure you noticed as well, the UTEP minors in this dynasty are now number 23 in the country. I think we were 25 in the country to end last season, so highest ranking UTEP's had in a long time. Maybe ever, I don't actually know. But we're facing number 21 USC. Let me show you what their roster looks like. It's definitely good, very good. This is a better team than Florida, I would say. They're 2-0 this season. They're an 88 overall, and they actually look like an 88 overall. Jalen Moss being the star on offense, 89 overall receiver. And they've got a 90 overall running back, Raleek Brown. I mean, you go down this team, it is just stacked all over. They've got a redshirt junior quarterback who's an 85. Backup quarterback's a freshman. He looks great too. This team is going to be very good, very hard to beat at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. So I'm going to go play it and show you the highlights. Picks up.
The Los Angeles Coliseum, once home to the Olympic Games and many of the most memorable moments in sports, and also home to the USC Trojans, who are prepared to fight on once again today. What a matchup we have in store. It's still early in the season, but this is a major test for a couple of squads who've gotten out of the gate undefeated. As we'll see, the number 23 team in the country, the UTEP Miners, taking on the 21st ranked team in the land, the USC Trojans. Glad to have you with us for EA Sports College Football. I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack and Jesse Palmer with me in the booth. Guys, we are ready to tee it up.
And against USC, like we did against Florida, I wanted to try and establish the run. Darian Trish looking good so far. Big run to start this one off. Our offensive line has been really holding up this year so far. JP Pickles allowed to do some running. He has had a big start to this season in the air and now on the ground too. 2nd and 13. Here he comes with his legs again. Pickles up the middle. down inside the 10. And I'm starting to fall in love with this play here in the red zone. Corey Foster in motion, he gets open again, makes a man miss, and the Miners score first in LA. Corey Foster with another touchdown. Same way we started last game. Now we gotta see if our amazing defense can hold up against a high-powered USC offense, and we were missing tackles. They were running all around us and already got the ball inside the 5. The run to the end zone. This was a shootout. 7-7 early. Trojans tied it up. 3rd and long here. JP Pickles looking for Ryan Niblett, who ran a beautiful route there. Got open and kept our drive alive. Just over 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Tie game, we're moving the ball again. Pickles looking for the lob to Artie LaRue, who's one-on-one, wins the battle and scores for the Miners. He gave us the lead back at the Coliseum. Really love what I'm seeing from redshirt freshman Artie LaRue this season. USC gets it right back, and guess what? They freaking scored again. A dart to Jalen Moss, who absolutely torched us today. Speaking of torching defenses, Ryan Niblett runs a beautiful wheel route, gets open, and finds the space with his 98 speed. No one's catching Niblett. Another touchdown for the Miners, up 21-14 now. We're just trading scores, and you can guess what happened next. USC bombs it down the field and beats Clayton Sylvan in behind. Another touchdown. I'm telling you, this was back-to-back-to-back plays. It wasn't even like there was a play in between. We moved the ball a little bit after getting it back. Artie LaRue runs a wheel route. No one covers him. I see it last minute, and we just get it out in time. Back of the end zone, 28-21. Artie LaRue, another touchdown for the redshirt freshman, who just stayed in bounds there. USC gets it back, and guess what? They're slinging it. Dart to the middle of the field. A catch there, and then, oh my god, this was not a good day for Chris Sermon. Jalen Moss torched him. 3rd touchdown of the first half for Jalen Moss. This one tied it up at 28. Yeah, the Heisman pose makes sense there, to be honest. USC started the 3rd quarter with the ball. That was all in the last 2 minutes of the 2nd quarter. But, man, 3rd quarter, Jalen Moss starts with it. Jalen Moss inside the 5. And guess what on 2nd goal here? They go RPO. Jalen frickin' Moss with his 4th touchdown of the game. Chris Sermon, I'm sorry, man. You have had better games than this. Goodness. Trojans loving life at home in these last 2 quarters. We get it back, and on 3rd and short, we try to run it. Darian Trish runs into his own man and cannot pick up the first. So we decide to punt here, even though our defense has been really leaky. 3rd and 9, chance to get off the field. USC with the ball. Lots of time to throw, and the lack of pressure hurts us. They go with a big play down inside the 5. Some missed tackles. We have been getting torched, something you haven't seen all season from this Miners defense. Another touchdown for the Trojans. Now we've got to spark a comeback. It's a 2-score game. Ryan Niblett running a great route, getting into open space, spinning again. God, he is so fast. Over 1,500 career yards now in his last 2 seasons for UTEP. There hasn't been much he hasn't done for us. Judah Ezenwa, reliable, our tight end up the middle, keeping our drive alive. We're trying to get back in this game. Darian Trish on the swing. Good move, spinning down to the 1. And of course, we're going to give it to our fullback. Baldridge blast. Gets us back in this 1-score game. So now we need to stop, something we haven't done all day. And on 3rd and 2, I thought we had it here. Tight window there. Jalen Moss somehow catches it and breaks away, and all of a sudden they're in field goal range. So now I'm thinking, let's just get a stop on 3rd and 12, and we do! What a swat there! So yes, we've forced a field goal with just over 2 minutes, but then we run into the kicker. Oh my god, has this happened before? It's unbelievable how many times this has happened in college football 25 for me. That's going to cost us the game right there. USC, first of all, how did that pass get through? How did we not pick that? But as you can tell, they drove right down the field after the penalty, took advantage of our mistake, and put the game away. They were absolutely dominant on offense. This was kind of just all of it coming out on defense. Our worst defensive performance by far, but good day for the tight ends. Martavius Collins trying to keep us alive. 4th and 1 pickup. And then a nice lobbed pass on the run from JP to Ryan Niblett. Again, trying to keep this drive alive. There's Niblett again getting open. Really had a good day finding him, but JP forced one here, trying to get it to Martavius Collins in the end end zone on the 1-yard line, and that did it. The pick seals it. It was all Trojans today. 49-35. They win this top 25 battle against our Miners. And after a win at Florida, I'm not too disappointed with that. But man, Jalen Moss was absolutely on another planet against us. Just taking a look at the box score from this top 25 matchup, and this was a game for the box score. My God, 451 total yards for UTEP. 510 for USC. We were 5 for 7 on third down. They were 6 for 7. Insane overall stats. If it wasn't for our defense finally letting up big points today, JP Pickles was outstanding. 19 of 26. 376, 4 touchdowns, and that interception late wasn't even that bad. He was really just forcing it. We did not run the ball well today. Darian Trish couldn't really find any holes. Rasheem Radley was pretty solid. JP Pickles had a couple of those good runs early, but overall, we were fighting from behind, and it was air it out today in LA. Ryan Niblett was on fire. Artie LaRue made some big plays, and we spread the ball around quite a bit, but could not get it done. Against a very good team, though, and there is something that I wanted to note in recruiting before I sim a week. I adjusted our hours just enough so that we can schedule a visit for Terrell Jeffrey and Hayden Hearns to visit next week against Sam Houston State. Since they're a quarterback tight end duo, that increases their chances of the visit having positive impact on them. That's just a good way to do recruiting here in this game. Pair up players that really get good influence from visiting with each other. So let's sim to the next week and see how this all works out, and then play Sam Houston and call it an episode. And I'm very happy we scheduled those visits. We're in week 4 now. It's visit time for Terrell Jeffrey and Hayden Hearns. And look at Terrell Jeffrey's board. It's tight. We are in first, but this visit with Hayden Hearns is going to be a big deal, and I think we're going to beat Sam Houston, so maximum influence here to land these 2 recruits. I'll scroll through the other parts of the board. The only other thing I did this week was schedule a visit with Chad Shaw in week 5 next week. I'm looking at where he's at in his process, and I'm sure he's going to get a little bit more gaining this week. Next week we can drive it home with a visit, and then hopefully he signs either after week 5 or week 6. But definitely before that Tennessee visit in week 7. And Ohio State behind us just makes me a little nervous as well. But this is the last thing we're going to do this episode. We're facing Sam Houston at the Sun Bowl, and we are going to wear the El Chuco helmets. So let's get into it.
Little gets the blood boiling. Quite like a rivalry game. Barbs, shots, trash talk, things that go on throughout the week will now all be settled on this field.
Little rivalry action at the Sun Bowl. Give it to Darian Trish. Do some spinning, juking, making Sam Houston defenders miss. Him and Rasheem Radley have been a good pairing all season. JP Pickles finding Corey Foster on that crossing play. Jukes a man there. We have been making defenders miss all season. This team has been very good in space, but JP Pickles with a mistake. Just as you think we're starting to drive, throws a hot pass over the middle to the defender. Sam Houston takes over, but a couple of 3 and outs for both teams. Nothing really happens, and near the end of the first quarter is when we started to move the ball again. Martavius Collins, I'm telling you, he's been great this season. And then Rasheem Radley, the freshman. Look at the speed, out in space, finding it, getting over the 50, and then give it to Darian Trish on 3rd and short. Who stopped? I was shocked there. Thought we were going to pick it up, but you know what? 4th and 1, give it to him again. Not my best run. Couldn't find open space the way I thought we could, but we pick up the first down on 4th down. And then how about JP Pickles? Oh my goodness. He gets out in space. He's running around like a madman, and he scores. JP Pickles with his highlight of the year. Through the air, he's been great, but we have seen his legs go to work this episode. And then Jalen Jones. Talk about Jalen Jones some more. What can't we say about him? 2 sacks back-to-back, and that is 30 in his career for UTEP. Take away that USC performance, and this has been something special so far. Defense does their job. We get it back. We give it to Ryan Niblett, and only good things can happen when you see that kind of space with this kind of speed. Number 15 into the end zone again for UTEP. He has been awesome this season. A receiver who could be having a Heisman season. And then how about this laser when Sam Houston gets it back? Oh man, I thought Clayton Sylvan was going to pick that. But just wait a little bit later in the drive, it's another sack. We were all over this Sam Houston quarterback with pressure. He couldn't find a man open and throws it straight to the defense. And going into the half, the Miners have a 14-0 lead. And we were getting pressure on the quarterback again. Cesar Vega getting to the quarterback with those Fire El Chuco helmets on. Loving the effort in our rivalry here today. But Big play here, went for the pick, couldn't get it. They break away inside the 5, and this was the chance for Sam Houston to see the light. We get the pressure again though with a sack, call it 7 sacks on the day, but follow that up with a dime from this quarterback. Hats off to him, that was a hell of a throw. So now we've got to sit up in the chair and lock in again. Let's get a good drive going, and Judah is in was where we go. All reliable. And then how about Martavius Collins here, mossing the defender. Totally forced it, it wasn't a great throw. Darian Trish running it later in the drive, making men miss inside the 1, give it to him again, and just like that, we've woken up again. Oh, they scored on us and woke up the offensive beast that is this UTEP team. 21-7 now. And then the mistakes started flowing for Sam Houston State. Picked off by Xavier Smith. We get it right back. The fans in El Paso are absolutely loving it, and we hit him with a big play right off of it. A bomb to Artie LaRue. They didn't see the pass coming, obviously. 28-7. Another touchdown for JP Pickles. And then how about another pick for the UTEP defense? Great day for Cesar Vega. He takes this one down to the 20, and that sealed it. But with 2 seconds left, the Miners were not satisfied. This is a rivalry. Who cares? Let's run it up on those Bearcats. Finding Artie LaRue one more time with the clock running out. The Miners take it 34-7. That West Texas town of El Paso's gotta be excited. So I will leave you by looking ahead to what we're gonna be doing in the next 2 episodes. Obviously, we did very well in our non-conference season, only 1 loss to a very good USC team. But next episode, we're gonna start off by seeing what happened with that visit with Terrell Jeffrey and Hayden Hearns. Do they love UTEP? Are they coming? And then we'll play half of our Mountain West schedule. So I'll scroll down so you can see the entire Mountain West schedule. 8 games. We're going to play the first 4 against Hawaii, New Mexico, Utah State, and Nevada next episode. Might sim 1 or 2 of those and play 2. And then we'll get Boise, Fresno, Colorado State, and Wyoming in the episode after that. Hopefully leaving off in what I'm hoping is a Mountain West Championship game in the episode after that, and a bowl game maybe also in that episode. But until that next time when we continue on this journey with the Miners, this has been Therios. You'll never walk alone.